Hi there. I am going to show you how to carefully work through the pages of Buzz. You're either here because you were curious about what this video was about, or I told you should probably come and check it out. Either way, I'm going to show you how to navigate the pages and how to make sure that you're completing the lessons correctly so that when you complete the assessments or the assignments, you are doing what's expected and you're learning the material. If you want to know about these tools in Buzz for the read aloud features, the dictionary that's in text or the dictionary that's in picture form, the screen mask tool that's available, you can watch that in a different video called Tools of Buzz. This video is strictly on how to navigate. So I'm going to close these tools and I'm going to move them out of the way and we're going to get started. This is an example from Science 1, and it doesn't matter which course you're taking in Buzz, the courses are all set up in the same format. They're set up in modules and lessons. And I'm going to take a step back here to show you that when you open Buzz, you're probably going to notice that when you get to your first module, we get to it right here. When you get to your first module, you're going to see that it seems to repeat, like you have module pretest and module pretest again. You have gravitational law and gravitational law again. Everything is listed twice. That's because the first icon with the blank sheet of paper is considered the lesson material. The second time it shows up, this is a quiz. I can see little check boxes for gravitational law. Lesson 2 for types of forces will start here. And then for lesson 2, you would have an assignment to turn in. I can tell by looking at this icon. So the first time you see an item in Buzz, it's telling you the name of the lesson and giving you a link to those lesson pages. The second time you see it, it's going to tell you what type of assignment you have, either an assessment or assignment that needs to be turned in. So I'm going to skip over the pretest because every module starts with a pretest, and that lesson page is usually only one page long saying, welcome to this module, we're going to take the pretest. I'm going to start with lesson 1.01. Gravitational law. Again, it doesn't matter what your lesson is. This is the same format in science as it is in social studies, ELA, math. It's also the same as foreign languages. Any class you have in Buzz is pretty much set up the same way. All right, so here we are on the main page. And if you want to know about how these outside arrows and how these inside arrows work and all of these different features for the tools, again, that's in the video called Tools of Buzz. I walk you through all of those tools. The first page of a lesson always lets you know what you're going to be learning. It gives you a little text and then an important message. When I am finished reading through, or if I'm using the speech to text tool, text to speech tool, excuse me, once I've finished with the page, I'm going to move on to the next page. I can do that either by clicking on this drop-down menu and going to page 2, or this inside arrow will take me to page 2 also. When I come to page 2, I have more text that's going to read. There's a focus question. That means you need to read the question and you need to think about it. You need to give that idea some thought. Buzz is filled with a lot of independent learning that I will be supporting in our Connect times and in our live sessions, but the majority of the work is really your responsibility. And if you have questions at any time, please reach out to me. Send me an email, give me a call, and leave a voice message. I'll get back to you as soon as I am able to. All right, so you're going to come down and read through all of this material. And then when you come to an item like this, where you can see, I'm just trying to get it to center here a little bit better. There we go. We can see that in this box, there's a little bit of text, and then we have additional arrows and we have dots. The dots, there are 3 dots here at the bottom. That tells me there are 3 screens that I need to look at. And I can click to screen 2 by clicking the second dot, or I could have used this arrow. This arrow inside the box is going to move the box for me. So here is page 2, and it actually asks you to type in an answer and click results. And then the third page you can get to by clicking on the third dot. That is the end of page 2. Moving on to page 3, this time I'm going to use the caret drop down to go to page 3. You're going to see more focus questions for you to think about, text to read. Whenever you see a word or underlined, that is a word that does appear in the glossary, this tool up here at the top. And if you hover over it, it will give you the definition of that very important term for the course that you're in. Then here is an interactive activity. And you can see it says slide 1 of 2. So the instructions say answer the following questions by selecting the correct answer and then select submit. Okay, I understand my directions. I'm going to look at the questions and I'm going to click on my answer and click submit, and it will tell me that I'm wrong. So I'll try again. Let's pick a different one. I haven't read the question. Oh, too many attempts. Your answer is incorrect. The correct answer is circle C, has the greatest mass. Once I pick the correct one, I can click on next and it takes me to slide 2. I can go back to the first question and start this whole activity over again if I want to. It will let me do that. And that's page 3 of the lesson. So you can see the lesson pages really are not meant to be super long. They are meant to be rather short, but you need to take the time to read the material. You can use the text-to-speech tool, read it on your own, and make sure you're doing any activities that are on the page. I'm going to use the inside arrow this time to go to page 4. A focus question, text with glossary terms. And page 5, a focus question, an interactive activity. Select all of the objects that have a gravitational pull on each other and you can pick which ones are true. More text to read. That one doesn't have another page to it, so that is the only activity for here. Here are the instructions again if I needed to see them. So once you click on one choice, it's going to give you the submit button. Notice that wasn't there when I originally started that activity. All right, let's use the inside arrows and I'll move to page 6 of this lesson. A focus question, another interactive box. You're going to run into these quite often. You can see slide 1 of 4. And I can move through these different screens and then they're asking me a question. I'll make my selection and then the submit box will show up. More text to read. And then we come to page 7. Now, 7 is not the last page in this lesson, but when you get to the end of a lesson, the last 2 pages are always the same. The second to last page is a practice page. It's a review page where you usually have an activity like this, an interactive activity that I've shown you before. You can see there are 4 slides here. You can repeat this activity as many times as you feel comfortable to until you feel like you understand the material. And the last page is always the explanation of what you need to do next. I'm so glad we have this bar here because what happens is people read this text and they see this and they don't realize that there's actually more information when you click on it. It will open up, especially in ELA. Your writing prompt is given to you in this way. It'll be on a dark bar, a colored bar, and you'll need to click on that bar to get it to open to show you the writing prompt. So whenever you see that down arrow, it means click on it to open that material. So make sure you read the information, and then here it says assessment. Check your understanding of important concepts. Complete the 1.01 gravitational law quiz. So to get to the quiz, I have now reached the end of the lesson pages. I have gone through everything. I understand what they're talking about. I'm ready to take my quiz. So I'm going to use this outside arrow to move from the lesson to the quiz page. And here we are. All I need to do is click the start button and the quiz will open up. And as you can see, there is no reader here. If you have a reading tool on the device that you're using, you can use that to have it read you the text, but Buzz does not have that feature available in assessments. I hope that this was helpful in helping you understand exactly what you need to do in working through the lessons. Something that you need to be aware of is that I can see how much time you're spending on the lesson pages. So I know if you've looked at a page for 15 seconds, you probably haven't given it the attention it needs. And if you didn't do well on an assessment or an assignment, I might be reminding you, hey, you need to go back and spend enough time. Also, as you work through the week, I'll be giving you videos that say, I want you to spend time working on these pages of a lesson so that you don't have to do the entire lesson in one sitting. That's a lot of work. And I want you to be able to work carefully through it. I'm going to make sure that things are paced for you so that you get all of the work done by the end of the semester and you meet all the requirements that you have to. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope this was helpful and I wish you all the best. Again, if you have any questions, right here is my email, my phone number, and you can contact me with any questions. Email is the best way to do it. Bye, guys.